Hello my friends, my name is Ryan Freeman. You are watching a video about teaching English in Taiwan. I teach at a junior high school and middle school here in Kaohsiung. Today's topic, I will be talking about lesson planning. The standard contract for all public school teachers in junior high school and senior high school is that you can have a maximum of 20 classes, including co-teacher planning. I got the maximum this semester, so I have 19 classes plus one period of co-teacher planning. So in this video, I just want to talk about how I approach my lessons each week that maximizes the fun that my students and I have in class, as well as gives me a lot of free time despite having such a busy schedule. Now, a little disclaimer is that every school is different. Your school may give you more challenging classes that you have to prepare more for, or they may give you an easier schedule where you have a lot more office time. I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about my schedule. So here is my schedule. I'll bring it up on the screen. Let's go ahead and first talk about my standard English conversation classes. I have two of them with second grade senior high school. That they would be juniors if they were the American equivalent, grade 2 senior high school. And I have 1, 2, 3 of the ninth graders. With these classes, I use magazines. The teachers have given me a magazine for the grade 2 and a magazine for the grade 1. And before the semester begins and before we started teaching, we decided which units we were going to cover. The grade 2 teachers told me which units, and the grade 1 teachers asked me which units. So dependent upon your co-teachers, some co-teachers will let you choose, some co-teachers will want to choose themselves. So what I do is, I look at the unit that I'm gonna do this week with the students, and I flip open to the page. So here is one. It is lights, camera, action. It is about making videos. It is literally about what I'm doing, about becoming a social media person, about being a live streamer, about, even though I don't live stream it, about being a YouTuber. And that's what the article's about. It has a lot of vocabulary words such as real-time video versus recorded video. It has words about potential income. It talks about minimum followers. It has a lot of vocabulary related to this topic, which is a pretty cool topic. But what I have found is that and this is just a generalization from my experience of teaching English in Taiwan, is that when I started, I had the expectation that I would be reading these articles in depth and discussing the meanings of everything. But I found that to do that was really quite boring, and the students would gradually lose interest. I mean, good classes will follow along, but still, there wasn't enough dynamism in the classroom. So what I now do, and I will, I'm not saying that you should follow my technique, but just to give you guys an idea of how one teacher does it, is I go to the article and then I start to underline words that I think they might not know, or words that I think are very useful, expressions, sentence patterns that I think they can have some fun with, first with their classmates, and then hopefully by having some practice using those sentence patterns, they will be able to use it in their daily life should they ever go to another country or have a foreign friend. So, for example, if this article starts off, do you dream of being a star of your own show? So I just, do you dream of is a very useful expression. So I have a student read the whole first paragraph, and then I talk about the key words, the things that I want them to get some practice with. So, do you dream of? So I might, after I go over that, I'll ask everyone, repeat after me, dream of, and everyone yells dream of. And I ask them, what is the Chinese word for dream of? And they say it. I try to repeat it. They laugh because my pronunciation of Chinese isn't always perfect. Then I'll write on the board a question using dream of. So I might write on the board, do you dream of? What do you dream of? And then I'll give them a sentence pattern to answer that. I dream of a blank and a period. So you probably can't see that. I'll bring a close up. What do you dream of? What do you dream of being? I dream of being. And then I'll ask the students to ask two people near them, what do you dream of? And then give them the basic sentence pattern of how to answer that. I dream of being a teacher. I dream of being a businessman. I dream of being a Hollywood star, whatever it is. And so I go through the article slowly, constantly finding words and expressions that I can give them an ability to practice using it in an interesting way. And then after they have had maybe, let's say, 30 seconds to 1 minute of talking to their partner, I will then ask, I will pull lucky sticks. Every classroom in Taiwan pretty much will have a little jar of lucky sticks with all of their numbers. I will pull the stick and I will have some fun calling them. This student is in the third row. I want them to, understand rows, numbers, because a lot of my students, this school that I work at is slightly below average academically. So I would adjust the English that I'm using dependent upon their skill level. This student is in the third row. They are not wearing glasses. They do have a white mask, and I get them to sort of try to guess who it is, just to have some fun. And then I ask them that question. So, and I might ask the whole class to ask them. Let's say the student's name is Eric. Although that's not his Taiwanese name, almost every student will have an English name. So I will say, everyone say Eric, and they all yell, they laugh, because it's just so funny to call their classmate's name out loud. So they all go, ha ha ha, Eric. And I say, what do you dream of? And then they all ask, what do you dream of? And then Eric will say something like, I dream of sleeping. Some silly answer, everyone laughs. It doesn't really matter. There's no really wrong answer. I will correct their English if they make a mistake. It's just to get them using English as much as possible. So I will actually, even though this article is only 2 pages, I almost never finish the 2 pages because it just does take a while. I want them to have as much practice as possible. So that's basically what I do, and I'll do that for about 30 minutes, and then the last 20 minutes I will generally play a game. The games I play are improv games. Usually I get them from a website, I believe it's called Improv Encyclopedia, and sometimes I'll print out these games. I have been doing improv games for a very long time, so I know a lot of them by heart, and I can always pull some games to have some fun. Sometimes I will just do English questions, English sentences the whole time. Sometimes I will have them, after we've done several different types of example sentences, I will have them write their own question on a piece of paper, and then I will have them walk around the class and ask 4 boys and 4 girls. And I will emphasize that you must use English. And then after they've been walking around for 10 minutes, it usually devolves into just socializing in Chinese. But for whatever reason, my co-teachers actually love this time, and everyone does. And then I will say, okay, you have 1 more minute. And then once it gets down to, 1 minute usually translates to like 2 or 3 minutes. Then I'll say, okay, 30 seconds. 30 seconds translates to like 1 minute or 2 minutes. Because they are having so much fun, I don't want to push them or rush them. And then I will go 10, 7, 3, 2, 1, okay, everyone please sit down, and I will call some lucky sticks, and I will ask them, what was your question? And give them the sentence pattern, my question was, and they will read their question, and then I'll ask them, what did someone say? And they will say, Sally said she dreams of marrying a tall rich man. This is just an example. So that is basically what I do with 5 of my classes. These 5 classes are the ones where I am the main teacher in the classroom. I have a co-teacher that will help. I I use these articles. I don't even care about the topic so much. I care about what words do I think are useful to the students to learn, and what words can we have fun with in the classroom and make it an exciting class. Because what I have found is it's not so much what I need to do, like required curriculum that makes my English classes successful. It's, can I engage as many students as possible? Can I have as many students as possible using English words, learning English words in a fun, interactive way that encourages them to continue studying English? That's how I see my role. And many of my teachers have said, like this week, one of my teachers said that she's worked with many English teachers before. She used to own a cram school. She said, Ryan, you're the best I've ever had. Okay, not trying to brag, but she did say that. So it's a method that works, okay? It's a method that keeps my students happy and my co-teachers happy. And when you keep your students happy and your co-teachers happy, you've got good job security. But job security, I want to talk about this in another topic, not today. All right, so those are 5 of my classes. I have 3 music classes with a wonderful, delightful music teacher in the junior high school. So this is with the smaller kids. Smaller kids have a different energy. They're a lot cuter, but a lot more wild and unpredictable. And with those classes, I don't do any lesson planning. In fact, I walk into the classroom and the music teacher hands me a book, and I just correct her English. So if I hear her say an expression, let's take our attendance, I'll just say, there are different ways you can say that. Let's take attendance, roll call, let's take roll. I'll just give her some different ways of expressing things. She'll ask me questions. She's someone who really cares about learning English. She wants to be a full bilingual teacher. In fact, she's already teaching bilingually. She's made a massive improvement since I first started at this school. So those 3 music classes, I do no lesson planning. But I do meet with the music. She'll walk to my office and ask me questions. So for example, this is a funny thing. A couple days ago, she came to my desk and she asked me, she said, Ryan, is this correct? I want to ask the students a question. Do you have your fingering chart? Do you know what fingering means? And I said, Sabrina, do you know what fingering means? Because in America, and probably for a lot of the world, when we hear fingering, we don't think of putting our fingers on musical instruments. We think about other things that happen in the privacy of our own bedroom. And she didn't know that, and the students luckily don't know that. So it was just a funny little thing. She'll ask me questions. And I learned that fingering is a terminology used to denote where to put your fingers on various musical instruments. I had only known the dirty version of that word. So those 3 classes are like that. I have 2 PE classes. 2 PE classes where I do no lesson planning. I actually show up 10 minutes late because the teacher wants me to show up 10 minutes late because the students need to warm up and stretch. And then I just help them say some words. So this week, the past couple weeks, we've been playing soccer, and I just get them to yell out goalkeeper, goalie, penalty kick, free kick, throw-in, these types of words. A few just really briefly, like less than 3 minutes. And then I play soccer with them, and I have a blast. So those 2 classes, no planning. I have 3 classes of junior high school English, and I had most of these classes last semester, and I did something similar to what I do with the senior high school, like give them a question, give them a word, give them some English practice, and then play some improv games. However, this semester they wanted to do something different. They wanted to do something called Reader's Theater. So in these classes, we have scripts. This is the Frog Prince, the frog who gets kissed by a princess and turns into a prince. They are broken into groups. They have a script. They are rewriting it. and then practicing it. So I actually don't do any preparation for this class either. I just go there and I sit with the groups and help them correct their grammar as they're rewriting the script, give them ideas and things like that. So those are 3 classes that are, it was kind of a challenge at first. I didn't really know how I was going to fit in exactly. But we've worked the kinks out, and now they are an absolute joy. I get to, this is something I alluded to in the last one when I was talking about working with co-teachers, how sometimes you have a disagreement about who is the boss. Well, they told me that I'm the boss, but really they want me just to sit with these students, and they don't even really care about readers theater so much. They just want the students to interact with me. And I have found this to be a very joyful class, because instead of just teaching with the whole class and eliciting feedback and orchestrating games, I'm actually sitting with them in small groups and having these little interactions that I find very valuable. I'm getting to know them in a more personal level. Not like personal questions, but just, small interactions. You get to know them better. So those are 3 classes. I don't really do any planning. And then I have 3 classes with the 3rd grade senior high school. So just to clarify, in America, our high school, we have 4 grades: freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. In Taiwan, junior high school is grade 1, 2, 3. That would be equivalent to 7th, 8th, 9th grade. So 9th grade is actually a junior high school grade. And then they have 3 grades for senior high school: grade 1, 2, 3, which is the equivalent of sophomore, junior, and senior. So only 3. So I have the seniors. They've finished their college entrance exam, the equivalent of our SATs, and they really have no work to do anymore. So now the teachers just said, these 3 teachers said, listen, Ryan, you can use old lesson plans, do whatever you like. And so I play games with them. I have a list of PPTs that I've used last year and last semester, and I just sort of use recycled lessons, and it's been going great. So this week I did movie genres. Can you describe movies? Very useful topic and fun. So I bring up an image of, let's say, Pinocchio, and I will ask them, what kind of movie is this? And some of them will yell Pinocchio, some of them no. I go, yes, that is the name of the movie, but what kind of movie is it? They'll say cartoon movie. I say, yes, you can call it a cartoon movie, but we can also use the word animation. Everyone say animation movie. Because the company that made this movie is so famous, we can also call it what's the company that made it? Starts with the D, Disney movie. Everyone say Disney movie. Everyone say Disney animation. And Pinocchio, is it an old movie? Everyone says, yes. Is it older than Teacher Ryan? And they kind of look confused. I say, it's much older than Teacher Ryan. Things that are old but still popular or well-known today, we have a special word for it. It's called classic. Everyone say classic. All right, now ask your partner, do you like Disney classics? So something like that, right? And so I go through the various movie genres, and then I say, good job, everyone. That takes about 25 minutes. 30 minutes, and then it's a fun PPT. The students like it. And then I have them get into groups of about 4, and then I come around with a bag, and I have various movie genres, which I just print out from my PPT, and then they have to pull one as a group and keep it secret, and they have to enact a scene, not from that movie specifically, but of something that would be of that genre. So if they choose, for example, I'll show you right now, there was a group that chose war films, like a World War II movie. And so they had to make a scene of a war movie. And so this was, I'll show you right now, this was what they came up with. 1, 2, 3, action.
Let's go to kill the enemies! Attack!
Now that's a very remedial English class, so they didn't really use much English in it, and I don't really care. It's just an idea for them to have some fun with these genres. And then I'll ask the class, what genre, what kind of movie was that? They'll yell, war, things like that. It's a lot of fun. A lot of the students and the co-teachers will film these like I did. And it's just really this job. I think that basically covered it. This job, oh no, club class. This job is mainly about everyone enjoying themselves using English, not necessarily about hitting all of these curriculum targets. Okay, 2 other classes that I need to talk about. One is I have a multi-elective course every Tuesday morning with a co-teacher that is really passionate teacher. She's really passionate particularly about this class because this class is her baby. It's been her dream to teach critical thinking and discuss complex world global issues from a scientific perspective. And so it's a very interesting class, and we tackle different topics like electronic waste or Elon Musk and his technological revolutionary ideas or things like that, Fukushima wastewater, and we do it in Chinese and English. And this is the class that requires the most lesson planning because she really wants it to be as collaborative as possible, not just I do my thing, you do your thing. So that is the class that sometimes I will have to make PPTs or grade papers and stuff like that. Yeah. And then I have a club class. So club class is basically every Wednesday afternoon for 2 periods. Every student goes to a club, and at that club you have fun. And so one week I have the junior high school students, and I have 9 students, and I just get them. So like this week I'm like, what do I want to do? Well, they've got too much energy. We even got kicked out of the library because that's where we're meeting because they're just wild. I have no co-teacher, and I just can't be bothered to keep too much order going on in a club class. And they have a blast, and we're like friends, you know. I'm still their teacher, but it's a very relaxed class. I love these kids to death. But I'm like, I want to get them tired the first period. So I just took them outside, even though it was hot. I took them outside and I had them play capture the flag. So I set the cones up, have them play capture the flag. Then I take them back in the room and I introduce them to a game that I brought from America called Bang, a dice game. That's in English, and we go over the rules, and they loved it. So that's what I did. Next week I'll have jiu-jitsu, and I know enough jiu-jitsu as a purple belt with 4 stripes, although about to be brown belt, I would say. I know enough jiu-jitsu that I don't really have to plan too much, and they're so basic. Their knowledge is they actually don't even really want to learn that much jiu-jitsu. I don't know why they've joined jiu-jitsu class. Some of them are interested in, but they're really not serious about it. Most of them are not serious about it. They just want to hump around and wrestle around a little bit. So I just teach them, how to be safe. Teach them some moves, get them to do a little bit of the light sparring in certain positions, just gradually build their jiu-jitsu knowledge.